what has been on my heart with all of you. If you found your way here to this live or to this recording, I'm so excited that you're here. And if you have been a part of my community for a while, then you know that myself and my own healing journey and things that I have been walking through over the years, and how I guide my clients within my practice, and even just how my practice itself has shifted in its structure over the years has really changed. But especially over this last year, I would say over this last maybe like 6 months, it has just been really, really wild. And I've shared little bits and pieces about some of this, about, how my own beliefs around what it means to heal and how to heal have shifted, and how I am guiding my clients in my practice, how that has shifted. I've shared little bits and pieces about that, but I haven't fully opened up about it. And I'm really excited to get to do that today. As I said, this was completely unplanned, and it was literally just doing my makeup, getting ready for the day, and was like, today's the day. Like, I want to share this message that's on my heart. So here I am. So where do I even start? So if you've been following me for a while, if you've been part of my community for a while, then you know that I, previously when I first started out on my own healing journey, and when I eventually became a practitioner, really took an approach to healing focused on a very, very physical way, right? So focused on shifts to diet, shifts to your lifestyle, to using supplements, enhancing your ability to detoxify, right? Addressing toxins and pathogens and all of these things. And I do still guide my clients in those things, and I think that they're a very important part of the healing process. And I, like to take what's called a root cause approach, where we're really digging deep to address the root causes of why your body is experiencing imbalances, why your mind is experiencing imbalances. However, my view on that has really shifted, where that is not solely focused on physical aspects, right? Like some of the things I just named, toxins, pathogens, diet, right? All of these things, they play a role, but what I have experienced in my own healing journey and in guiding my beautiful clients is that there is so much deeper to addressing the root cause of imbalances, right? And so I like to call this, what is that, like the root cause of what's going on within your body, right? And a big part of that, a huge part of that, is our emotional body and our nervous system, the state of our nervous system and our energetic body, right? And so my practice and how I guide clients has really been evolving over the last year, as I said, really focused on taking this joint approach in supporting clients through the physical aspects of healing, but also through the emotional, the energetic aspects of healing as well. I personally believe that both are necessary in order to experience the healing that you're seeking, whether you are struggling with, chronic symptoms like digestive symptoms or hormonal imbalances, or whether you're experiencing more emotional type symptoms like anxiety, depression, panic attacks, things like that. There is an emotional and an energetic root to all imbalance within the body, is the belief that I have really shifted into. And it has taken some time for me to get here, right? When I first started on my healing journey years and years ago now, I was very, very focused on just killing all the things, right? Like pathogens, parasites, like understanding and uncovering like, well, what is wrong with my body? Like, what kinds of imbalances do I have? Like, do I have Lyme? Do I have mold? Do I have parasites going on? And how can I get rid of these things? That was very much the world that I was stepping into when I started out on my healing journey. I would say probably in about 2018 that was. And that was a really big booming thing here on Instagram and in the wellness space. And it certainly helped me to address those things in my own health. But it was really, really missing a much bigger piece of the picture, which is, why are all of these things able to impact the body in the first place, right? And what that comes down to is the status of your nervous system, of your emotional body, your energetic being, and how energy is actually flowing within you. And so once I started to realize this, like in little bits and pieces, in little different ways, it first, I think, started out when I even just heard like what the nervous system was. I was like, I didn't even know what that was. I was like, well, what is that? And I started exploring that, and I started going down this route of like learning about how to breathe, like how to do breath work, which felt very foreign to me because I realized I was someone who would like always hold my breath. And so I had to learn how to like, okay, like how to breathe, how to really just kind of like quiet the noise in my thoughts. I started exploring meditation, things like that. Just taking time to try to relax and to, I didn't know this at the time, but to get into my body really is what I was trying to do. And in that, I started expanding more into that and found some really amazing friends and mentors who have taught me along the way how to expand this within myself, how to learn more about the nervous system, the emotional body. But initially, I will not lie to you off the bat, like I just thought that it was about like learning how to just be calm and how to like reduce stress, and that's why I felt called to it. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I resonate with having a ton of stress. At the time, I hadn't even resonated with like coming from a home where I had a lot of trauma. I just thought like, yeah, I'm under a lot of stress, like that makes sense. And so I thought, okay, this is just another one of those things that I need to do, that I need to check off a checklist. I need to like support my nervous system, right? And so that's how I kind of got into that. And through there, I started actually learning more about emotions and like how we can actually hold on to emotions within our body, and they can stay trapped within certain areas of our body, within certain organs. Now, this was a completely like foreign belief to me. I was like, what in the hell are you talking about? Like when I first started hearing people talk about this, I was like, this is so woo-woo. This is like not for me. Like I had so much resistance to it. Until I started feeling like very gravitated towards it and pulled towards it. I started experiencing some different types of energy healing with some of my friends and people that I knew in the wellness space, and I really started seeing a shift in that, and I was like, holy shit, like this is a huge part of what's going on with me. Like it must have an emotional root, like this must have to do with my nervous system, right? And so around this time is when I started my practice. I became a practitioner myself because of, what I've experienced in my own healing journey, and could not wait to lead other women through how to support their health and wellness. And so I started my practice, and although I knew this new knowledge about the nervous system and emotions and like energy and all of this, I'm not sure why, but I sort of just like tabled it in the back corner of my mind, or just kind of like scratched the surface of it. When I first started my practice, like I would guide my clients through, some deep breathing and like some things to help support their stress. I would send them meditations, journal prompts, like things of that nature, just like where I started, like just scratching the surface, but primarily focused on the physical aspects of healing, as I think a lot of practitioners do when they first come out of their certification programs. We're so filled with knowledge and we're so excited and ready to change the world and help our clients heal. And a lot of people, I think, are just drawn to that like physical aspect of healing right off the bat, even if you feel pulled towards like the nervous system and emotions. It's like, I guess it's like emotions, the nervous system, they don't seem like this like shiny thing, right? And I think a lot of people, like I said, myself included, can have a lot of resistance to that. I think one reason why that can happen, as someone who has been through my own healing journey, is that when we have just gone through absolute hell in our own healing, like when we have just experienced so many challenges and rock bottom moments with our health, right? Our symptoms and what we're experiencing can feel so intense, and so we can think like, oh my god, I'm suffering so much, and these symptoms that I'm having are just so intense, they're so scary, like all of the things, and that is all valid. Like I 1,000% felt that way when I was really struggling. But what happens, I think, is that we think, because we're struggling so much with these physical things, that we then need these like physical supports in order to restore balance from these things that we're experiencing. We think that because our symptoms are so intense, that we need like a really intense type of protocol or a really intense type of diet, like a really intense way of restoring balance to our body because it feels so broken. I know that's how I felt when I first started my healing journey. I know that's how a lot of my clients who come to me feel when they first come to me. They express that to me. And so I think that's why, like, there's just a lot of people who first are immediately drawn to like the physical aspects of healing, right? And so yeah, that was my avenue. It was like, yes, let's go down this avenue. Let's support physical health 100%. And I was really successful in that, in restoring those areas within my own health, in restoring those areas for my clients. Got to witness so much beautiful healing happen within them. It makes me, as I'm watching myself, just like glow and light up. But what I started to find, and what I will openly and honestly share here, is that myself and my clients would have these big shifts like in our health, right? But then those old symptoms would just kind of pop right back up. Or they would pop back up like when not focused on, these really physical aspects of healing. And to me, that didn't make sense. That felt like, well, what is still missing here, right? Like I had this voice inside of me that was like, something is missing. And I set out on a journey to really figure that out. And that is when I really, started dabbling more into the nervous system, into how we hold on to emotions, how what we hold and internalize within can physically like eat us up inside and can really impact us and affect us. And I also, in my own healing journey, had a lot of blocks myself, and witnessed this in clients too, where they would get to a certain point and they would just get stuck. and myself included, like I said. And when I really looked at that and analyzed it, what I saw, I just didn't understand what it was, but what I saw was that myself and clients were getting stuck in like our own negative thought patterns and our own limiting beliefs and our own traumas and past experiences and things from like way back in our childhood that were affecting the way in which we were showing up or not showing up on our healing journey, right? Like getting stuck in limiting beliefs of like that you can't heal, or that you'll always be feeling certain symptoms, or getting stuck in feeling like you're not good enough, and having these like patterns just kind of keep coming up, getting really stuck in fear. That's something I have an intimate knowledge of myself, and something that I adore guiding my clients through, is really fearing your body and your symptoms, and fearing different ways of healing, fearing using supplements, like fearing foods and all of these things. And so I started seeing that like while physical shifts were happening, there were still these deeper things that would be coming up and kind of like rearing their head, if you will. And so I had to explore that and lean into that. I couldn't ignore it, And so that's really how I started learning more about the nervous system and emotions, our emotional body. Now, it wasn't until this past year that things really, really shifted for me in a very expansive and abrupt way. And so I experienced a period of significant grief and loss in my own life, almost 2 years ago now. And I talked about it a little bit here on Instagram. I shared it a little bit with my audience here, but I haven't fully gone into it. But it rocked my entire world. It was a complete rock bottom moment. And that grief that I experienced just shook me to my core. It brought me to my knees. It makes me emotional even just like trying to talk about it. But it happened for a reason. It happened for this reason, so that I could have this awakening within myself, which has been huge and extremely transformative, but also so that I could have this awakening to help other women in a much, much deeper way than how I was. And so for that, I am extremely grateful, and I feel like that is why I went through that. I feel that although it was incredibly challenging and heart-wrenching, it was really divinely guided, and it was a gift that was given to me to lead me here ultimately. And so in that, complete like rock bottom moment, my health just, it felt like the rug was just like ripped out from under me. Here I was, feeling so much healing myself in my physical symptoms, and leading this booming practice, supporting so many amazing clients. And I had actually just expanded my practice, and I had brought on associate practitioners to work alongside me. And so I was really in this like expansive place and in the direction that I felt like I was meant to go in my own journey and in my business, right? Like very focused on these physical aspects of healing and really sharing that mission and growing my practice. And then this period of grief dropped in, and it just brought me to my knees, like I said. And it's like everything started to shift for me. And as I said, my health just felt like it completely went out the window, which was very scary, very traumatic for me to experience. And it was really scary as a practitioner to go through that too. And I had so many doubts about myself and my life and my healing and my health, and but not only about myself, about my business and what I do and how I do it, and how I actually view healing and how I lead women through healing. And like, did I want to have this team of practitioners working alongside me towards this mission that was no longer feeling aligned? Like, it was a very, very dark time for me. It was very challenging. It was just really difficult to be in all of that. But the most difficult thing, I think, was what I was experiencing in my own health. God, just so many past symptoms of mine came up to the surface, and it was really scary. It was a really scary place to be. And you know, I had so many symptoms, like issues with digestion, and just I can't even like list them all out. It was just absolutely scary, and I felt very out of my body. I had extreme anxiety. I was having panic attacks like every day. It was just, I can't even like put it into words how difficult it was and how scary it was. And it just made me rethink everything that I was doing. And so in this time is when I really leaned more into this emotional work and this nervous system work and this energy work. It's something that I just felt so pulled to, and I didn't really know why. I just felt very pulled to it, and so I decided to explore it even deeper. And in that, like, so many things came to light for me, and I really learned how to guide myself through all of those scary symptoms and all of that discomfort that was coming up, and all of those rock bottom moments and moments of just like pure fear. Like, I won't even say fear, I will say like terror is what I felt. It just felt so deep for me. And if you're someone who has, you know, been on a healing journey and you have felt realigned with your health, and then you've had it just sort of slip really quickly, then you know what that can feel like, and it just feels really scary. But the reason that it felt so scary, and what I identified through all of this, is because I didn't have the tools within me to cultivate and source safety within myself. No matter what I was experiencing, I had no ability to sit in that discomfort, to sit in the uncomfortable symptoms, to sit in the pain that was coming up. Like, so much emotional stuff was coming up to the surface for me, and so many things about my childhood, so many like repressed memories and traumas and things like that. And it was really overwhelming, and I just had like no tools to navigate that. Or I felt like I had no tools to navigate that, because what I was leaning towards when feeling all of that was all of my physical tools in my toolkit as a practitioner, right? So I was leaning towards like, oh, well, this must be something wrong with my diet. Like, there must be something I'm eating that is bothering me, or something I'm not eating. I must be lacking nutrients of some sort, or this must be related to mineral status, or this must be related to toxins and pathogens. Maybe I came in contact with some kind of a pathogen. Maybe there's mold in my home. I was leaning towards throwing a ton of supplements at myself, like using all of the things that I knew to do as a practitioner focused on the physical aspects of health, and none of it was working. And that is really what led me to be like, wait a minute, like you have this knowledge into the nervous system and into the emotional body. Why are you not like tapping into this? And so through one of my dear friends and mentors, Courtney Allison, Courtney, I love you. You know how much you helped me during that time. I remembered all of this, right? And she was like, wait a minute, babe, like this is what's happening. Like, you need to look deeper, right? You need to go deeper. There's a reason for why you're feeling so scared. There's a reason for why you're feeling so out of your body. There's a reason why all of this is coming up for you now. It's coming up, so this is what she was telling me, it's coming up so that you can learn how to lead yourself through this and lead other women through it too. And at the time, I was just like I just couldn't even really receive that. I was just like, I just need to like function, and I just need to be okay, because it was so difficult. And so she really helped me to navigate that, and to get back into my body and connect with my nervous system, right? With this beautiful part of my body, the part of our body that governs literally everything within our body. She helped me form this beautiful relationship with my nervous system and connect with my emotions and learn how to sit with them and how to feel them and process them versus just like push them away, which is what I was so conditioned to do my whole life. I mean, as a child, growing up, I was told constantly, like, I'm too emotional, I'm too sensitive, was shamed for crying, like, was told to be tough and to be, a good girl, and to be strong, and all of these things. And I'm sure if you're here listening to this, you probably resonate with that as well. And so, yeah, it was really something that I deeply had to unlearn. And I had to learn how to connect with my body and listen to my nervous system and somatically connect like with my emotional body, and to tap into my needs, right? To meet myself exactly where I was, and to hold myself and the young version of me, like the inner child within me, through all of this hardship that I was going through. And I had to step out of so much resistance. Not saying that I didn't support my health physically, I definitely did. And I think that it's really important to support both, and that's how I guide my clients now. But I really deeply turned inward, and I really spent a lot of focus and love and care on nurturing my nervous system and teaching myself how to feel safe, which was something I've never ever felt before. And I realized this in this awakening that I went through. And so slowly but surely, my health started to restore. But it's like I don't even really fully know how to put it into words still. It's like it didn't just restore, it completely shifted, because not only did I have my physical health back, but I had this like newfound insight into just what it means to heal, and how to heal. I learned that through this journey that healing is not just about our physical health. It's actually not, this is my opinion, it's actually not about overcoming our symptoms and our pain and our trauma. like, yes, that's a byproduct, is that you will experience relief in those areas if you do this work. But that is not what it means to heal. What it means to heal is to learn how to sit with that discomfort of your symptoms and your pain and your trauma, your challenges. Like, that is just a whole new level of healing, because what it means is that when you have these symptoms pop up in your life, which you will, like, we're human, we all go through periods of stress. We do come into contact with certain toxins or pathogens that might shift, how our body is feeling. But the difference is that when you know how to hold yourself through those challenges and discomforts that come up, when you know how to tap in to your body and connect inward versus outsource your power to something or someone else, like a supplement or a practitioner or what have you. Like, and I'm not saying don't work with a practitioner, obviously, like, that's incredibly important. And I did work with a practitioner myself through this journey. Even as a practitioner, we need people to guide us. What I'm saying is you're receiving guidance, like, from those things. And those things are tools, but they are not what is healing you. You are what is healing you, okay? So when I first heard this, I was like, this is so freaking woo-woo. Like, what are you talking about? So if you're feeling that way, like, that's totally valid. But this is what I have learned over the years, and ultimately what I learned in this massive awakening that I went through. Like, you are your own healer. You have this innate wisdom within you, within your body, and it is always working for you. Your body's always working for you. The symptoms that you have, they're coming up for a reason. They're how your body communicates to you. It's the language of your body. So when you have symptoms pop up, it's not because your body's failing you. I know this is what we think, right? When it happens, that's not what it is. It's not that you're broken. Your body is not leaving you or abandoning you or like abusing you or putting you through pain on purpose or because you did something wrong or any of these like stories, these limiting beliefs that you have. Your body is always working for you, and it's bringing these things to light to show you something that is out of balance, out of alignment. And if you were to suppress all of that away, if you were to just focus on throwing supplements at those symptoms and whatever's coming up and masking that away, how are you going to get to the deeper root of why those are coming up in the first place? That's a question to ask yourself. And it's a question that I asked myself when I first started on my healing journey, but I was so clouded by believing like, oh, every imbalance and every symptom is because of a food or a toxin or a pathogen or like whatever it is. That's not true. Those things are able to create imbalance within your body where your body's responding because of a deeper root cause, because of your nervous system and the status of your emotional body and like what you have been holding on to within the deep, dark, like inner demons, if you will, that you have not dealt with and that you have not faced like in your journey. That's why this stuff is coming up for you. And so until you address that, right, it doesn't matter the types of like supplements you're taking, like what you're doing in the physical realm. You might feel relief like I did for a little bit, but you'll see it just keep coming back. And when it does come back, you'll feel like I did, where the rug is just being like ripped out from under you, right? You will not feel safe at all. You will feel completely ungrounded. You will feel completely out of your body, completely in a state of hypervigilance, right? Where you are like grasping onto straws. You're like, oh my gosh, well, is it because of this? Is it because of this? Is it because of that? Let me try this protocol. Let me try that one. Let me work with this practitioner. No, maybe this one's better. Let me do this kind of testing. Like, I know that if you're here, you have probably been down this merry-go-round, right? I know because I have been down it myself. And so that is why my beliefs around healing have significantly shifted. The way in which I guide my clients has deeply shifted. And the structure that my practice is built on has really, really shifted over the last year. It is really because of this deep awakening that I have had, and I will tell you, what I have gone through and experienced is unlike anything that I've ever experienced before, as far as the physical and emotional symptoms that came up for me, but also as far as the deep transformative healing that came up for me. It is unreal. It's not something that I fear will be like taken away from me like I used to, because I know I have this deep inner trust within myself that no matter what comes up, I will be here for myself. I will be here to ground myself, to support myself, to love myself through that. I have the tools where I don't feel the need to escape my body, right? I know how to connect inward. I know how to believe in myself and in my healing. I have this deep inner trust that I never ever thought that I would experience in my entire life. I know how to cultivate safety within myself no matter what is going on around me or what I'm experiencing internally. That is something that you cannot get from a supplement or from a protocol or from a diet. That is something that will only come to you through doing this deep inner work, through learning how to connect with your body, right? Like somatically get connected with your body, with your nervous system, with your emotions, with your authentic self. Like that is the journey that I have been on. And I will never be the same again. And so when this is getting long-winded now, but as I said, I didn't have any script for this or anything, just kind of wanted to let it pour out of my heart. But when I experienced this in my own journey, this was at a time, like I said, where my practice was booming. I had just brought on recently associate practitioners. We were bringing in new clients. Like I was even thinking of expanding into bringing on more practitioners. And so you would think like everything was on paper, right? If you're a practitioner yourself, then you're like, oh my God, like that's amazing. In fact, I had a lot of practitioners reach out to me seeking mentorship, which I love mentoring other practitioners, by the way. Still something that I adore doing. And so I had a lot of people reaching out to me like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, how did you get here? Like, what did you do? And so all of this was like swirling around me and I was like, fuck, like this doesn't feel aligned though. Like this actually isn't what I want. This isn't how I want to help people. And so it was this massive like death and rebirth that I went through. Of having to basically like tear my business back down to the ground, burn it down to the ground basically, in order to build it back up again in a new way. And so I released the practitioners that I was working with, which was very, very difficult. I shifted a lot of my offerings. I changed the way in which I guided my clients. I was met with a lot of challenges, through all of that, met with a lot of, I think, judgment, a lot of like questioning, I think, from even like some of my own mentors, some of my colleagues. And it was really this deep spiritual awakening of like, fuck what all these people think. I need to do what I feel is right and what is my next path. And so I did. And that's why I'm here now, leading in this new way, this new embodied way. And it has just been the biggest journey that I've ever gone through. And I'm very excited and very lit up about this work. And I see it shifting my clients, my God, in ways that I did not imagine. It's one thing as a practitioner to witness shifts within yourself in your own work, and it's an entirely different thing to witness shifts within your own clients. It's like, it just makes me emotional because that's why I do what I do. That's why I became a practitioner, was to help other women not have to go through the things that I went through. And so for me to be able to guide women through how to create this inner knowing and trust and safety within themselves, no matter the circumstance, for me to teach them how to release all of these limiting beliefs and things that have been holding them back from healing, and how to feel and process this emotional baggage that they have been carrying throughout their entire lives, teaching them how to transmute the traumas that they have had to experience. Like, it is absolutely incredible. It's life-changing. And so it's one of these things where, like, once you see something, and like once you really see it, you can't unsee it, you know? And so that's what led me here. I was like, okay, I see this now. Healing isn't just about physical aspects. That's like a little blip in the puddle, right? Healing is deeply about connecting with yourself and your body and your nervous system and your emotions, and restoring flow to the energy within you. And so I'm so glad that I went through these ups and downs, that I experienced these deep shifts, because it has led me here. And I am just so honored to be embarking on this next avenue of my journey, both as a woman on my own healing journey and as a woman who is so deeply in love with supporting other women through their journeys. And I'm just excited to see where this leads me, and I'm very excited that you are here. If you are a practitioner yourself and you want to learn more about this, like how to connect in this way with yourself or with your clients, how to learn more about the nervous system, emotions, the somatic body, all of these things that I talked about today, definitely reach out to me. I'm an open book. And if you are a woman on your own healing journey and you're like, this sounds woo-woo, you're not like sure about it, but you're feeling really energetically pulled to it, I would love to hear from you, because that's exactly how I felt when I first started hearing about this and exploring it myself. And as I said, it really was the key for me to just unlocking such transformative healing for myself. So that is my update. This was very long-winded, longer than I thought, but thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of my community, and I am so excited to take you along this journey. Bye.